All right, all right. Hello, hello, hello.
What's going on?
Nothing much, nothing much. I'm ready to talk that stuff. Real Housewives of Potomac in a
Let's get
pickle.
to it.
Yes, yes. So, um, the last episode, like when we left off, well, maybe not when we left off, but when they left off, Ashley had her housewarming and they introduced the new girl, Nneka, and she had told Robin this tea about Wendy and her mom and this shrine where she was praying against people.
Mm.
Now, just initially when you heard that, did you believe it or did you think she was making this story up or what did you think?
I didn't think that she was making the story up. I
Mhm.
just thought it was much to do about nothing.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little embellished. So I feel like, yes, her, I don't know if it was like somehow their families were connected through a friend. So I do believe that that connection is there. I do believe they probably talked about something, but I don't know. I felt like, okay, y'all doing the most, like a shrine and all that. I don't know. It just sounded a little extra. Like, let's make something up for the show because they not above it, clearly, because they had whole thing going last year. So anyway, they start off with Nneka picking up her husband from the airport, and apparently he's a travel doctor. He travels every other week, so he'll travel a week, come back every week. And so on the way home, Karen invited them to pickleball with her. Have you ever played pickleball or heard of it?
Didn't know it existed.
Oh, okay. So I had heard of it. Um, it's well, I won't say how I heard it, but I heard of it. Now it was an older lady that brought it up. And so I realized it's an older person's thing. Like older
Okay.
people are playing it now because it's a little low impact, but it still is a workout. Like, you still can get to going, but it's not as intense, I think,
Strenuous.
as tennis where it's not like you're running as far and things like that. Now my cousin, she was telling me she took her daughter to play pickleball. And I'm like, I thought it was some old people. She was like, yep, she the only young one out there. But her dad plays it with these old ladies, and the old ladies just love having her there. So she's the only young person I know that plays pickleball. But anyway, they're gonna play. And so they also talk about the whole Wendy issue again. And apparently Eddie and her husband, which I can't remember his name, they went to the same school and they were part of. Now she said this. She said they were part of the same African something organization, and
Hmm.
Eddie was friends with him before. She said they were part of the same organization, but she didn't make it seem like they were friends or because like depending on the school, we could have been in the same organization, but that don't mean
Right.
I knew you. Yeah,
Right.
but
Hmm.
apparently they were friends. And then after the whole thing with the mama in the shrine, that he unfollowed him on Facebook,
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
And so I don't know. I think that was a little interesting. Number one, that you took a picture of it before to show that y'all followed each other. Now, why did you even take that picture? That's one thing. I'm thinking like you have to have had a motive to screenshot a picture of Eddie following you
I
and
didn't
then
even
to
think about
go
that.
back and check to see if Eddie unfollowed you is another thing. So I don't know. To me, like you can edit stuff to do that, but I don't know. I don't know. It may be true, but I just thought it was to me the after unfollow was interesting, but because to me you gotta check to see if somebody unfollowed you. Like you can't. They don't show. At least as far as I know, I don't think they show you like. Or you have to check to see if somebody unfollowed you. Like
Yeah,
they
you
don't
have to
see your
check.
report. They don't
Hmm.
see your report and say, "Oh, these people unfollowed you this week." They show who follow you, but they're not showing you who unfollowed you. So you had to specifically go and check this. So anyway,
Which
that was
means that you're interested in that person.
yeah. So anyway, Robert and Giselle meet up, and they they catch up on the kids, and of course they talk about the whole pickleball thing. She was like, "Is one coming?" She was like, "Yeah, he's coming." Now I know you don't believe me, but Robin is on the show this season because I think her and one signed an agreement to say, look, we need to see your face at every event that you can possibly go to. I think out of all of
Well,
the
he
seasons,
ain't working. He ain't working.
he
So
ain't
what are you gonna
working.
do?
That's true. He's not working. But even when he's been not working before. Remember when he wasn't working before, and we didn't see this much of him. We seen more of Juan in this season than we have combined in all of the seasons.
Now that I ain't gonna agree with. I ain't gonna agree with that one.
Okay, maybe not combined, but we've seen a lot of Juan, more than we normally see. I was like,
consecutively. I will agree. I'll agree to that.
Like, okay, I think it was an agreement. It's an agreement in place. So anyway, they claim, of course, she claims she don't care about people's opinion. They can say what they want to about Juan or whatever. But apparently Juan talked to Giselle when they were at some, I forgot the name of their podcast, but they did a live show. Mm-hmm. And Juan was talking to her and he came for her and was yelling. Mm-hmm. But we also learned that Juan has a hearing problem. Because
this is where I was just like,
come on, Rob. He coached for so many years.
And if the two of y'all are that close, you already know that Juan got a hearing problem.
Right. This your first time hearing your best friend husband got a hearing problem? No. Because we've heard him not yell before, and we have heard him yell. But I'm like, okay, Robin, this is a stretch. But he claimed he's a sexual dude, just like any dude. But he did not have sex. He did not have sex.
Which at that point, I was like, because I remember conversations that I've had with you, and you were like, the penis does not have to be penetrate. The penis does not have to penetrate in order for there to be sex. And I've since learned that in our culture. that does not have to be the issue. And so at that point, when Juan said he's a sexual person, at that point I was just like, Juan did it.
Yeah.
Juan did it.
Like, why
he did something. He did something. I don't know what.
He didn't have sex, but were bodily fluids exchanged in any way? Like, So, some kind of way she had to pay back for that hotel. Oh, Robin. But anyway. So Robin, if it's her business, everything, keep it off the table. But everybody else's business, I'm not supposed to be telling you this, but
She was deflecting.
Right. Exactly. She proceeds to tell her all about Nneka and Wendy and the whole little situation. She retells it or whatever, or half of it. Now I don't know I guess we'll talk about that when we get to that part. Candace and her mom talk. They're doing better. They're not tussling as they have been before, but she talks about all the money she had been spending on her initial tour. And her husband wasn't happy about it. Chris wasn't happy about it. And her mom, the usual, was like, but what is he working on right now? Is he making money with that? Because, she always felt like Chris wasn't keeping his end of the whatever. So apparently he's making enough money, I guess, to support their lifestyle for her to spend it all on these tours. And then she asked about her and Robin, how are they doing? And she, I guess didn't have the best relationship with Robin because she seemed like she was on Chris' side. But then when Giselle was spreading all those lies or whatever, she didn't really get her. So anyway, that's a little update. So anyway, they start on the pickleball. Hold on just a second. They go to pickleball. So they arrive. Karen and her husband are in green. And Giselle arrives in her right. Karen says she's enjoying her now that she got a man. And I was like, oh my God. They're going to forever be, their relationship is interesting.
Going at each other.
And she was like, Pastor was on the phone, but I ain't seen Jason even on the phone. But we have seen Jason on the show. He has made an appearance. So, but he didn't make the on-demand version, which is interesting.
Sorry about
What is that, a spider?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, you was all under the desk. I'm like, what is he getting?
It's moving.
I'm glad you got it. I think. Hopefully. Okay. So Mia arrives with her husband. That's another couple that we know they're not together now in real life, but they're recording together on this season with us knowing they're not together right now. And you notice little things like Mia and her husband.
They're not together?
No.
What? When this happened? No.
That was before the season started. It was in the blocks. They're not together. And even now, I think she is, I don't know, is she engaged to somebody else or it's something she got going on with somebody else that's supposedly serious. Mia.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, of course, with that knowledge, I'm looking at it like, okay. So I noticed when, I forgot who, was it Karen that went to Mia's house and Dr. G came over to get the kids. And it was like, why are you coming? Why aren't you there already? Why do you have to pick the kids up like that? And then they came to the pickleball at the same time, but in different cars. You notice that? I don't know if you noticed. I noticed it because I was like, this is interesting. But yeah, so I think they were playing it up for the cameras for this, you know, they were like, we'll act like we together this season. But anyway.
But I mean, why is he doing it? He ain't getting money. He ain't getting money. She getting money.
Right. That's what I'm like, and like it's less. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Cause I honestly don't know. And what's interesting is that she was with him when he had that money. Once his brothers kicked him out, she threw him to the curb. So but yeah, so Wendy and Eddie arrive. Candace arrives and does not speak to Giselle. Now, when they show the clips of why they're not speaking to each other, Giselle, you know, they talked about her. I forgot what she said about her uterus. But the thing was, I'm, of course, more on Candace's side because she literally made up a lie about Chris that, according to Candace, I guess, ruined his reputation and affected his business, where Giselle, what she said was just like a knock, you know, it was insensitive, but you know, it was in response to what she did. But in any case, Karen, you know, mixes up the team strategically in the worst way. She did
it on purpose. She did that on purpose.
She thought that they could play together or whatever. So Wendy, Nneka, and Mia were on one team. And when Nneka came in, she spoke to Wendy, but Wendy was kind of like, hey, you know, or whatever. So what I'm trying to figure out is if Wendy had gotten wind of the drama or if, I don't know. Because it was interesting. I don't know if she still had a bad taste in her mouth from what Ashley had said about Nneka. Like, why are y'all talking about me anyway? Like, even if she didn't say it, even if you brought it to her, why are y'all talking about me? You know, I don't know. Because it wasn't like we're all good. Hey.
Okay. So how do I say this? So before the pickleball situation, what I was thinking was the issue was not necessarily what the mom had done and what the sister had done, but it was more about, hey, Wendy, why are you calling all of these people like mad because I supposedly know you? Like kind of like questioning like the situation. And then by the time it got to the pickleball, it was solely all about the ubu, the ibu, whatever it's called. Osu. It all became about that. And so when all of that was going on, I was just like, I'm so confused because I had forgotten what the initial the true situation was. And so like I'm looking at all of this, I'm just like, this shit is fake.
Exactly. Very fake. It's very, and I don't know if they couldn't decide on what they'll make up for them to argue about. And they started off with the Osu thing because it was in an article, and then it was like, that's not enough. We got to step it up a notch. So let's add a layer to it and all of that or whatever. And so, you know, they kind of started playing or whatever. And then Juan and Robin arrived late, of course. And everybody was like, is that Juan Decent? Wait a minute. Who said, Wendy said, I thought he would be in Canada speaking. And then Mia was like, he doesn't have a job, so sit at home, watch TV, or play pickleball. Come play pickleball. Like, oh my God. And Karen had the best comment. She was like, what is Robin wearing? I was thinking the same thing when she walked in. I was like,
okay. Yes, I agree. It looked like she was ready to, you know, she was ready to be a stripper or whatever. Ready to pop up out of the cake.
It's like amateur night.
However, Karen, if you're gonna talk about what somebody wearing, I need you to check that back fat. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm not gonna hate on Karen because she is she 60 yet? Or 60?
She's 60 something.
60, yeah. So I will say she looks good for her age. Even with, a little back fat. She
does, but if you're gonna talk about somebody, you gotta be correct yourself.
That's true. But she said vagina on display. Put it back. Nobody wanted, not even one. Oh my gosh. But anyway, so I did notice that they panned to Eddie.
Hold up though. I happen to think that she's a beautiful woman.
Which one?
Robin.
Well, I guess all the women are beautiful because I can't think of any that are not. But,
right. Every last one. Every last one. Okay. But I believe that Robin is a beautiful woman, especially when she smiles. When she's just looking, most of her faces are resting bitch faces. Yeah. Let's just be honest. Mm-hmm. But when she smiles, it's just like everything about her just lights up.
Yeah. Yeah. But I am noticing that. Okay. Well, this is me, but her lack of melanin side is coming up a little bit, around. She's right, but they're gonna fix that up in a couple of years. She'll get some shots and stuff. But anyway, I did notice they panned over to Eddie introducing himself to the girl's husband, and the girl's husband wasn't like, "Now you know me." He was just like, "Okay, nice to meet you." Okay. Yeah. So apparently they either Eddie was like playing it up for real, or he really don't know to do it. And I feel like Eddie.
I don't think that's his thing. Like it's just gonna be real. I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all do. The guys by themselves, they don't have time for all of that. They're there because they support their wives. Exactly. And if old dude really knew him, whatever this new chick's husband's name is, if he really knew him, say, bro, don't I know you from such and such and such and such?
Yeah, you don't remember me from school? Yeah. We was in the African thing together. Because he said, I thought Eddie was older than him. Like Eddie appears older than him, number one. So let's say Eddie was, and I don't know if this was med school or if it was undergrad. I don't know. But he said, I remember 2008 being thrown out there. So that's what, I don't know, 15 years ago? Yeah, about 15 years ago. Now, I'm thinking back in 2008, if I was in an organization and you may not remember, depending on how big it is, you may not remember everybody, but if they were years apart, 4 years apart, I'm definitely not going to remember the freshmen or the first year med students,
Right. That's true. That's true. And I will say this. So Facebook, right? I get a friend request. I check to see who our mutual friends are.
I do the same.
Okay, we have mutual friends. Your face looks familiar, or your name looks familiar. Okay, I'll go on ahead and be friends, and I'll never see your profile again.
Yeah, I have plenty of friends that like that, and sometimes I do see their thing, and I'm like, who is this? And then I'll go back to their page, which resets them in my algorithm to see them more. But I'll go to their page and like, oh, okay, we must have went to Southern together. Or, oh, it's a lot of church friends. They must have went to my church or something, something like that. But yeah. So.
Now, what I will also do is I don't know you. I don't know you from like all these years later. Now I'm getting to the space where, like, even if, like Southern, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, we know like a lot of people, but I don't know you. I don't know your face. I don't know your name. Unfriend.
Oh, okay.
I do that. I'll be honest.
Eddie may have done that and then realize that was. I don't know. But it sounds like I've never unfollowed anybody just because I don't care enough. It's kind of like I don't. Yeah. To me, it's more energy than I have time for to unfollow somebody. Like the only thing I do think I remember doing, there was a guy from our church. During the elections, he was posting a little too much stuff. And so I need my timeline clean for sure. And so I did block him from being seen on my timeline because what I don't need is to see all that. But that's the only time I think I ever purposely went in and did something. But But yeah, I wonder how he doing because I ain't sitting on this. But in any case, back to this mess.
Watch it pop up.
Right, like but Nneka clearly is on the show to be messy this season because Ashley first started off like, oh, I want to clear up, on both sides so everybody know. I basically was trying to start some mess, but Nneka got her own mess, so I'm gonna back up. So she cleared up the whole thing about how she misinterpreted or whatever. And Nneka was like, well, I don't know her to have a problem with her. And Wendy said the same thing, like, yeah, I don't know her to have a problem. Why are you repeating what I'm saying? Why are you saying, like, when she came with that energy, I'm like, yeah, she just be here to be messy. There's no reason for you to pop off like that just because she said, I don't know her enough to have a problem with her. And then
all of that was foolishness. It was just foolishness.
So she proceeds to tell everybody about the shrine and all about her, whatever. And Wendy, they're going back and forth about this. And okay, so part of Wendy, I don't feel like she was deflected, but it was just kind of like, I don't know.
She was loud. She was over talking, so the other girl couldn't get out anything.
Yeah.
Which the one little thing I know you want to tell that story, but what I loved in that moment was when Karen walked over to Giselle and she was like, "This is all your fault. This is all your fault." Just that exchange between the two of them, I loved seeing it. Seeing it.
Yes, because it was kind of like a nod to last season when they were blaming her, when it actually was all her fault last season. This season, I feel like it may because she's her friend of Ashley, right? Nneka seemed like she came in as a friend of Ashley on the show. So I feel like because Ashley always messy, so I feel like she may have had something to do with this. But it was like if Nneka wasn't pushing so hard to tell this story, it would have maybe seemed a little more believable, but it was just kind of like, okay, you pushing too hard. You trying too hard to be messy and start
on the show. But clearly she's on the show, so it was worth it. Yeah,
because she got what the Potomac people have. It ain't a peach, but whatever they got. Water.
Cherry blossom.
Oh, yeah, cherry blossom. So she got her cherry blossom. So she already, I guess, earned her part of the show. But even when she came in, I think I mentioned like her first scene with the house, it was over the top. It was too much. So she just kind of given a little too much. Where the Wendy's friend, she don't have a peach, but she come in, do her thing, and then it's like, she ain't trying to do too much. Like add your little spice, sprinkle, and leave out. But anyway, during all of this, Juan knocks over all the food. Starting a fire, about to burn the place down. I'm like, oh Lord, they a mess. But they finally get all that, get the mac and cheese and beans off the floor, and they bring all the mess over to the courts. And she brings up the fact that Wendy's husband unfollowed her husband. And I don't know if you noticed, like it felt like the husband was like, oh, let's not even do this. Like I ain't down for this. But then he turned it up. Because initially he was just like, and then he was just like, well, no, bro, why you unfollow me? And it was like,
it was a little too much. It was a little too much. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna confront somebody because you unfriended me. Like I don't care that much.
Exactly. And why did you go? It was given a lot, especially
and then to say it with your chest.
Yeah, because he got a little extra. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you get a little too aggressive, brother. And usually the men don't get into the mess like that.
No, they don't. Which has me questioning things.
Yeah. So I don't know. It does seem very interesting. So, and then Giselle was like, Eddie don't want none of that.
No,
because it's beneath him.
It was beneath him, but no, he didn't want it. He didn't want it. He ain't want it.
You don't know what Eddie got. You don't know what Eddie.
Eddie ain't got that.
Yeah, and he did seem a little extra aggressive. Where I'm just like, dude, I don't think it's over Facebook. Literally, yeah, because Facebook is kind of. I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of
maybe about 15 years ago, maybe.
Yeah,
but now
in the year of 2023,
they don't even do that over Instagram.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. It just seems a bit much. So we'll see what other kind of mess they got flowing for this season. But I know online people were kind of mad that I mean, I guess I didn't think about it, but that the two African women are at each other. Yeah, and I mean, they throwing in the colorism stuff, but I don't think. I mean, to me, that was a stretch. Like they're always trying to get the black women, the dark skinned women to go. I'm just like,
but that's their mess. That ain't nobody else's mess.
Yeah, that's how I was like, I don't know. That mean like the producers, like, but I don't know. It's very interesting, but yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, speaking of pickleball, there was a lot of pickles.
I know there's not a one, but please.
You ain't noticed?
You know what? I guess, I mean, I don't I'll wait for you to report back.
Nneka's husband was serving.
Did you go follow him on Facebook?
I did not.
Okay, that's nice.
And runner up was one.
Oh my gosh. So guys, go back and confirm or deny if what Jermaine said was correct. What about Eddie? What about what's Karen's husband?
Eddie was a no-show. No-show.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Okay. What about the assistants? No, I'm just playing. I was interested in no-show.
Lacking in every area.
Assistants. What y'all? I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think. I don't know. I guess I feel like, what does Ashley do to need an assistant? Like, she doesn't work. Does she? I mean, she do TikTok videos. Maybe she needs somebody to hold the camera. I don't know.
I mean, I'm certain she does appearances.
Yeah, but do you need an assistant? But I mean, do what you got to do to make your life easy. If you got money, your husband's still paying for it, so do your thing. But yeah, but that was this episode. I'm trying to think. Did they show what's coming? Oh, I think they kind of hinted to what's going on. They had Robin crying in the car and stuff like that. So we'll see what's coming up with this season.
Oh, did you notice that that the Grand Dame did not invite, what's her name? The one who was in the earlier seasons who's no longer there, but she comes around every now and then. I can't think of her name. Her husband cheated on her. Her husband was a coach, a basketball coach.
Oh, Charnice.
Yeah, whatever her name is.
That ain't it, but y'all know what we're talking about. Well, you know she ain't gonna invite her for real. So I'm not shocked she wasn't.
So they're not as cool as they act. I
don't think they were cool at all. I just think if they happen to be in a scene together,
they Karen gonna keep it G.
She's mature enough, but she definitely not bringing her into any scenes for sure. Charnice, dang, what is her name?
Whatever her name is.
Yeah. Y'all know who we talking about, I think. She wore it worse when her and Karen had the same outfit on in the first episode. But that was it for this episode number 4 in a pickle. But it was a good episode. I just think Nneka is doing way too much. Now, Wendy's mom does seem like the kind that would not have a shrine, but that will tell you
instigate. Yeah, to me, she's an instigator.
Instigator, and I'm sure she can pop off. But I'm trying to think, is Wendy the kind of person that would get mad at somebody for saying, you know me? I don't know. To me, that seems just very weird.
100%.
Yeah, like
100%. Unless they view it as clout chasing.
Maybe so, because I know. But you know what's interesting? Is that the same producer of He's the same producer of Atlanta, right?
Right.
They tried the same thing with Candy, the first episode, Candy and Courtney. She was like, I know you. Why you act like you don't know me? And it just seems so weird. So yeah, he's not even being creative. But in any case, it is what it is. We'll be watching.
But 9 times out of 10, those two things were probably happening in and around the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm saying like for that same storyline, kind of the kick out.
I get it, but
yeah, but
maybe he didn't know, which one was gonna land.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll see. But that's it for this episode. So we'll see y'all next week for more of Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Y'all have a great one.